Transition area is something you really need to think out. I have to ask all my athletes the week before a race to visualize everything they're going to do from the time they wake up on race morning through the end of the race. And that helps you keep very calm, cool, and collected when you get to the race site, because there's a lot of nervous energy running around out there. You don't need to be a part of it. Once you get set up in transition with your bike and you lay out your gear and you're ready for the warm-up, I suggest you walk around. Check out the surroundings. Check out the swim-in zone, okay? When you come in from the swim-in, how many rows in are you to find your bike? So if it's 3 rows, count that out. Mentally go overhead. 1, 2, 3 rows, hang a right. Which side am I on the rack? Then figure out which way is the bike out, right? You want to know where you go when you come out of the swim. And more importantly, when you come back in on the bike, how many rows are you down before you find your transition area again? It's not going to be 3. It's probably going to be 7. It's going to be a different number. So count that out and mentally equate that in your mind. And don't forget it. And then last but not least, find the run out area. When you stand up with your running shoes, the worst thing you want to do is go, which way do I go? Right? Don't do that. Plan ahead. If you have 2 transition areas, it gets a little bit more complicated. And because you got to plan, T1 is going to have your swim gear, right, and your bike, and T2 is going to be your run gear, okay? Vineman is one of those races which has 2 transition areas. And the first time I did it, I did major screw up, okay? I went to T2, dropped off my run gear, set everything out, counted how many rows in I was to get to my shoes, and then I drove back to T1. Went to unlock my bike and realized I'd left my keys in my gear bag at T2. So there I am, driving like a madman back to T2 to get the keys, back to T1, running in, throwing on my wetsuit, walking up to the river, and there goes my age group. I asked the guy to zip me up. The adrenaline was going through the roof. Not a good way to start the race, playing catch up. So plan ahead on race day. Plan ahead going into visualizing what you need to do before the race, and more importantly, when you're in the race, know where you're at.